Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to do my pin designs on pillows and sweatshirts and t-shirts and any jeans or anything you want to paint. So how does that sound? I have a couple ways to show you to make that happen, but one of them is I want you to see that I have glitter. The lights are a little bright there. I have hydrangeas. I have, see the glitter? Really fun pillows that are easy to do. So I'm going to talk to you about my pen design technique. And so what I have done is I've taken and have drawn designs. And when I draw the designs, I do it kind of in pencil, and then I go back over it with a marker. Okay, so see how the marker's on there? So this marker that I'm using is called an Identipen. See the Identipen? So we sell those at onestroke.com. And so the Identipen, I'm going to go to my overhead and start sharing that with you. But I want you to know the idea of taking a shirt maybe that you spilled coffee on or something's got stains and paint something on there, or paint on your children's clothes where they've kind of messed them up, which was how I started painting. And so that I wouldn't get in trouble because I wasn't watching them and they got the permanent marker. I've had all kinds of things like that happen in the past. But let me tell you how much fun you can decorate your house with this technique, and you can wear it, and you can put it on your shoes. You can put it on many items that you have just around the house. And I'm excited to share you those steps right now. So I'm going to go to my overhead camera, and you can see that camera ready to go there. And here we are. So now what's going to happen is I take the bold pattern, so the bold lines of the pattern, and I slide it underneath my fabric in between the front and the back, or just if it's denim, you're going to take graphite paper with maybe a ballpoint pen. And the patterns that I send you are not the see-through. This pattern, you can trace yours so you don't wreck your patterns on tracing paper. But I then take and I go around all the main lines, not all the detail in the middle. Not all the detail, but all the main lines. And I go with graphite paper, white or gray graphite paper, faces down onto the denim or something that fabric that you don't see through, okay? And you trace that on, and then you're ready to start your project, all right? So now what's gonna happen while we're doing this is you're going to see that I want you to see what I've done is I put this in between here, and I think that you're going to be able to see the bow, everything's there. I take this Identipen, and there's two ends to this. There's a wide, a larger end, and sometimes I do the outlining with that, and sometimes I need fine detail, and that's on the other end of this Identipen. Now, I have been stuck and had to use a Sharpie when I was at a convention in the hotel room. And let me tell you, this Identipen does not fade. Sharpie, when I washed it, it faded to gray. All right. And I know they're fun because they have colors, but we do have Identipens with colors. Now, after I trace the pattern on, so here's some that I've already traced on. Okay. And I want you to see that some of this came through here. I'm pulling this, and if you're on a silky material, it's not easy to pull it. It might drag a little bit. So I want you to follow those patterns. There we go. All right. So then also when I base coat this in, this outlining, this detail, this part, when I paint this all, let it totally dry, then I come back and I work on doing this detail. See this squiggle, squiggle, squiggle? That's going to give you some darkness in here. Then I come to some of these little detail areas. So you keep your pattern, because you can go in there and see where I've done this on my pattern. Oops, sorry. See how I went and put all the detail on the pattern afterwards? So you can go back to that pattern. Okay. Now, all my pen design designs have the exact size pattern, so you could just go right to it and paint. Now, if I put this here, it's going to be fine. I had some leaves that came on here that cover this part of the bow, but what's going to happen is it's going to get covered over some, and you have to repin it after you paint it. So this is kind of fruitless. You can do it later. Just wanted to share that with you. And the other key thing is we have to take this pattern out from inside, because if you don't take the pattern from inside, what happens when you start painting is you're going to destroy your pattern. Okay. Now, when I did the hydrangeas, I'm just doing the rounded area of the hydrangeas. And see the bow, I'm trying not to put too much detail. And most of this here is soft green in the background. And most over here, there was soft green in the background. So I do those first, and I show you step-by-step pictures in your package so you don't have any problem following that. So take this out. All right, and now let's show you a little bit about painting this. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I can do. So I want to share with you that we're going to be using a couple different paints. We can use our regular paint, which I actually used the blues. Okay, on this one that I'm going to show you, because that one what I actually painted were berry wine, burgundy colors. All right, so if I can use my multi-surface, I have to use Texel medium, 2-ounce or 8-ounce bottles. I pour it in here, or if I'm using this plate of these paints, which I'm going to show you. So this is a way, especially on pillows and totes and stuff that you don't wash a whole lot, you can use this and it will stay, and it'll be thinner and it'll still be soft. But the very most soft avenue to do is our Fabric Creations fabric ink, and it's called that so that you can discern it from other fabric paints. Now, this is very soft, and when you paint it and it's totally dry, it's very soft. You can push it and put it in the washer, dryer. So I want you to see I put it inside my double loader, and the reason I like the double loader is when you put this thinner paint, it kind of has a consistency that makes it like run a little bit. When I put it on here like this, they all go together, and I have a muddy mess, and I wreck my paint, so I have to get new paint often. Well, in here, can you see I put my glitter? This is Fantasy Glitter by Fabric Creations. This is all FolkArt. And see that this is like unicorn, and I like it, and that's what I put on the pillow, so I'll show you that. I put my medium inside the middle here so that I can dip into it and it doesn't run all over everything. Now you'll see the white's a little thicker. Sometimes you'll have that, but most of the time it's kind of thin. But it is amazing to paint with and very soft. So I want to show you, first of all, using this paint. All right, so I'm just going to take my paintbrush, and I'm going to, this is a 3/4, I'm going to get my medium, which you don't need much medium, but I don't want you to use water. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm picking up the wine color, and I'm going to go around the edges. Right now, I want it darker here, but what I like to do is I like to put medium all in here in this area. So you can just put a coat of medium, and I did it so you can see the color a little bit. Now, what's going to happen if you put this medium here? Water will run and bleed out, so we don't want that. But if you come along here, and this would be clear, not pink. I'm just showing you how I want this to happen, okay? Now, you've got to make sure that you have something, paper. I still have paper in between these two layers from the back to the front. Just want you to know that, all right? So then I'm going to come in here, and because this is nice and wet, what's going to happen is it's going to make it easy for you to pick up your wine. And I'm going to fill in this still because I want it darker in there. And then I want to take and come around this edge. Okay, very carefully around the edge. And here. Okay, now I can take the medium now and move it and get a kind of a watercolor feel in the middle. See how nice that is? A little bit darker along here. And make sure, if you're worried at all, make sure that you test the fabric and make sure it doesn't run, okay? Now this went out of the edge because I took it out of the edge right there with my brush. So I'm gonna come along here and I'm gonna continue this method, okay? Now, all I'm doing now is working this in, the medium. And see, then you have light there and light there. This is going to be dark in here because that's inside the fold. Now, if you, watch this, if you made it too thick and it's just like heavy paint and you're not happy with that, let me show you what you do. You take a paper towel and you go like this and you lift it. And so you can keep lifting color if you got too solid, because I usually want a watercolor effect. All right, now you do want to finish this while it's still wet. Okay. Now putting that heavier paint on the outside edge also keeps it from bleeding much. Okay, so that's how you continue that. Now what I want to show you, I'm going to put this up so I can use it later. And by the way, this lid, you can dampen the inside sponge with water and put it here. And I can match these, close it up. And because it will run, you want to make sure you don't tip it. You want to sit it flat someplace, okay? So I'm going to set that down. And I want to show you another method. Okay, I'm trying to get that knot to mess up on me. So here's the other method that we're going to use, all right? Now, what's happened here is I really need the medium and the paint. And these are for colors that I can't easily find, which we have many colors, a lot of popular colors, but I'm not finding them in my fabric creation. And I want it to match my home decor or whatever. So I'm going to take this, for instance, and oops, I put too much there. I'm going to go over here and let's do a leaf over here because I got carried away. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure, every time I go in there, I've gone too much. Okay, there we go. I'm going on the outside. You can cover the whole piece or just the outside edge, whichever makes you happy. Now, I'm thinking it's going to make a nice, I've got a little bit of pink in there, a nice background to move for me. All right, so what I'm going to share with you is I'm going to pick up some citrus and I'm going to go around the edge. Let me show you right here, around the edge. Now, when I'm all done, if I go out, see I'm going out a little bit there, or if it runs a little bit, I want you to see, I'm going to get some medium and I'm going to go a little bit of this green, darker green. All right, so I want to come right in here and I want to blend. See, blend these two colors. All right, so I can add a little bit more citrus in here. Okay, so that's how this is. Now, all you have to do is I want to show you up here. One more little thing up here. All right, if I went out on this edge and I wasn't happy with it, so I'm going to then come back at the very end and do these little marks like this. And I can do a little bit of black to shadow, or I can do little stripes in there, or I can keep it really close right here and just enlarge where I covered. All right, does that make sense? That's not through there. All right, so that's what you're going to do if you go over. Okay, with your marker, with your Identipen. All right, now what's going to happen here is I'm going to change my color, and I'm going to go back to my medium. Let's look right here. I'm going to dip my medium. We probably want to keep the medium over here near your plate, so it doesn't. My biggest problem is I always get spots, and at the end you can flick it with a fan brush and put these spots all over, and I'll show you how I did that. But I'm going to come over here with the medium on my brush, and I'm going to get my light pink, my light blue. Okay, now what I want to do is remember that I'm going to take the Identipen, I'll show you in a minute, and how I went back and I made all these flowers in here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of white, and the little petals I can stroke later. Okay, now I went from light blue, added a little bit of white in there. Now I'm going to go to my cobalt blue or darker. Okay, so I'm just going to work this in because this is a big area. All right, so you can have a watercolor effect, or you can have a stronger look to it. Okay, now this is all wet, so it's going to keep moving for me really nicely. And I can keep picking up the medium to get that look I want. All right, now if I'm on darker colors, just heads up, if I want this pretty hydrangea or rose or whatever, I'm going to base coat this whole area white. And then I'm going to go on top with my design and put it on there if I don't feel comfortable with just freehanding it. Now I'm going to pick up the 12 and pick up the blue. I didn't tell you, I'm using medium blue and cobalt with wicker white. Now I can come in here and do little strokes, all right, on top of this. Now there's a couple ways to do it. I'll show you. This is where I'm going to come in here and look at my white. I'm just going to push the white, push, push, and I'm not making perfect 5-petal flowers. Hydrangea actually has 4-petal flowers, but I just come in here and give movement. You see that? Now it makes it kind of dreamy. And then I can also come in here. You see me pick up the cobalt, and then I'm going to come over here and get a little bit of white. Now I can come in this area where I'm getting it a little darker. All right, and now I only got the blue, the cobalt once, and then the rest of it is going to be like this. Now at this point, you can decide to use the Identipen when you're finishing it or not. All right, so I just do some of them like that, and it's just really kind of fun. And so I'm going to close this up because I want to show you that I then came, let's move this away. So that's the process. You let it dry and then you come back with Identipen. All right, so now this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at the pillow. And so I want you to see how I did this in here. Now I did come in here with the wine in my brush with teeny bits of white just to shade it a little bit. All right, this I stroked right on top of where the rose was drawn. And so I should have just, see, you can see the lines through it a little bit. I should have just done that there first, but all in here, I took really thin, really watered down and did light green behind all of that light citrus, okay? Now this is what I wanted to share with you. I want to show how you put this glitter on, but I want you to see down here. So see, I drew each one of these and I just shaded around the edge. So that's the one way, and here's the other way. I still drew them, but I just came in with a little bit of white, and I just showed you how to do them without drawing them, all right? And then, so here's a few places that I didn't finish, because I can go around here, all right? And then I can pull the center, all right? And along here. So just really fun, easy. little quick little designs. I can see on me here, I came back and put the design on the rows afterwards. So I can choose to do this. I need to stand the marker straight up. Did you see I laid it down and it doesn't get a good view of it? All right, so whatever you decide, all right, and that's what you do afterwards. You're gonna go back and you're gonna do all these little strokes afterwards, all right? So after I glitter, watch this, after I glitter and it dries, there it is. This is what happens. See, you can't really see it, so you're gonna come back on top. All right, just that easy. And you can have some little vein marks if you wish. And I'm gonna come around and accent so you see my leaves better, okay? So what I wanna show you right on this pillow is I'm gonna add some more glitter, all right? And I'm gonna do, where's my glitter, okay? Let's come up here, the glitter, which is right here. And so you want this totally dry. Then you can pick up the glitter and then you can decide to stroke it on leaves. I can put a little bit more in here. Now what's going to happen is it's very milky, but this all goes clear when it dries. Now if I want it to really be glitter and wonderful, I'm going to take this without the filler and the pillow, and I'm going to use a dry iron, and I'm going to press, really stay and press for a few seconds, stay and press for a few seconds, and you can see that the glitter will look flat. It will be all iridescent, and when you press it, it'll look flat, and you'll know if you've fused it to the pillow itself, to the painting. So I just want you to see that and know that just remember something, and I say this with glassware and I'm saying it with fabric. When it's hand painted, lots of people say it should be hand washed. I did this on gentle because we have these wonderful washing machines that do gentle these days. And so I can do a gentle, and I would not dry it in the dryer if I want to keep all my glitter, because sometimes I turn inside outwards if I wanted to dry it anyway, so that the glitter doesn't cover your washing machine and get into the guy's underwear, which has happened at my house. Okay, so I just want you to see that we have a beautiful project that anybody can do, and you don't have to know how to do stroke work. And if I have specks on here, I take a fan brush and I make it inky in my paint, and then I flick it and cover any little spots, and that covers a multitude of sins. All right, so I hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you next time on one of my how-to classes. Thank you.